Well, it seemed to me last time that when I did some cavity work, let me press OK there. I'd done some mesh work. I done some more work on it because Bob sent me an STL or a car that he wanted to remove the seats from. And I thought, oh, it's going to be a doddle in light of what we talked about last time. Well, it wasn't. Days later, I was still struggling with it. And what I'm really going to do tonight for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes is basically take you through my thought process in trying to solve this problem that Bob had, and picking up things on the way. And I think one of the things I've picked up on the way is, bottom line, in one sense, it's very easy to edit a mesh file that's just a straightforward cube, for example. Doing something complicated like this car is a different matter altogether. So it seems to me that editing mesh files can be easy, it can be difficult, and you may have to employ more than one technique to do it. So let's share my screen and talk you through some of my thinking last week on solving the problem that we had before us. That one there, I think, where's the share button? There it is. Okay, you should see now the car that Bob is trying to do. The request from Bob was to remove the seats. I thought that's easy. I will load it in as I showed you last week and convert the mesh using the modify command up here of convert mesh. I started it running and was still waiting nearly 1.5 hours later. I don't have a slow machine and I don't have shortage of memory. So I thought, something's gone wrong, I'll do it again. Same result again. So I'm not going to do that bit here, though. I've got one here that I've already converted this afternoon. So that's loaded in. I'm going to go back now to, sorry, the mesh one there. That is a mesh one. Now, if we look in earlier tonight, I went in and remember how I said last time you could pick on a triangle, highlight it and delete it. Well, before we started meeting tonight, because this was such a slow process, I highlighted this triangle there and deleted it. Now, it had no effect at all on this surface. The other triangles are still there. And you can see probably how awkward and slow it is. It was a real nightmare. And even the machine everything is running slow at this. So I thought that's not the answer. There must be another way of doing it. So what I did then, I thought, this is going to take forever. I thought, what say I slice the car up, take out the seats, and then put it back together. My thinking being, if I could have a section of the car that contained, say, one seat only, everything would work quicker. And then I could end up with all the STLs with no seats. So for that purposes, I put it into Prusa Slicer. And I proceeded to slice the body. So I did this sort of situation, as you know, you can move it. I thought, right, slice it in half, so perform cuts. Yes. And it will just take a moment while it repairs it. As you can see, it's found open edges, Paul, and it's repairing it as we go. And what I ended up doing basically was to have a set of STL files which contained the back seat only and the two front seats. And I thought, great, I can put those into Fusion now. You can see how long this particular exercise is taking. And I ended up in Fusion with a section with the front seat, left and right too, and the back seat. And then with just one square, just this one seat, if you like, cut, because I then cut it that way as well. And with that one seat, it was still taking me an hour to do a mesh. So let's get rid of this a moment and go back to Fusion. So what I done, I re-imported the car again. And I thought there's got to be another way of doing it. So let's have a look. So I thought, right, okay, modify. Wonder what this direct edit is. So I clicked on that, and that brought up this little box here, and I thought, not a lot there. And I clicked on the car, and that was it. I thought, this is hopeless. Now, it was purely by chance. Well, I didn't look it up, I'll be honest with you. It was sheer luck. What I then did, I don't quite know how I done it, but I've worked out that if you highlight the car first, and then choose the direct edit, you get this very nice little palette comes up, where you can change things. Now, the brush size is the important bit. Stick on faces and paint. And now what I can do, I can come in with my brush. Now, if the brush is too small, you can see the brush size there. Okay? And if I click on it, I can then delete that. Let's just go back again. But if I take the brush up, a bit of playing about here, a bit of experimentation, and I can then go on there, and you can see now, let's zoom back out a bit. I've got the entire seat. And then you can go on, and if you hold the shift key down, you can click the next seat. You can do the same with the back ones. And you can do parts of the car as well. And then you delete them and they're all gone. If I press delete now, again, it's still a slow process, so I won't do that. What I will do is I will go back to Z and go back to one seat so you can see what I mean. So we'll select that one, hit the delete key, and we'll just wait now for it to operate. And in this way, I removed all the seats. We get the bit of black screen as it comes up, and the seat's gone. There is a video of all this on my 3D site under the Fusion Tools button, which I've already sent to Bob and John for them to look at. And in that way, we got rid of the seats. You can get rid of other bits as well. So you can go on the engine bit. You can see now with the brush size there, slight difference with the engine because of course there's more of it. So bring the brush down a bit and then you can start going in there. But what I did on the engine one was to go into a top view like this, change the paint command to window, and then basically throw a window in and press delete, and that got rid of the engine components and what's in there. I'm not going to do it now, and I'm sure Bob will tell you it works because he's had the copy back off me, because it does take time. But this way I got rid of all the seats, and you've seen how quick the one seat was to get rid of up there. Let's get back in the, everything's going haywire. You can see how you can get rid of the seat in there. So I think what we're talking about, and you can do it with a lot of things, you know, take the window, go back to paint, and if we wanted the gear knob only, you can see we've selected it. We'll delete it and just let it delete while I'm chatting to you. So it seems, and I'm looking for more, because it seems to me that whilst the technique we used last time of hitting a triangle and deleting it works well on perfectly flat surfaces, the problem with this example, as you can see, there's no flat surface, because even if you look at the seat, let's just get rid of that a minute, you can see it's curving in all directions. So this direct editing seems to work. The only thing with it, you don't get a timeline building up. You may do, but I haven't found it yet, so you'll have to wait for part 3. So that's another way of getting stuff, and of course you can then add stuff to it afterwards by sketching new stuff that you want to put in there. I'll stop at that point.